Hey guys, so I want to share a testimony, a mini testimony with you guys. And the portion of it that the Lord wants me to share with you all is being in a relationship at some point in my life that I felt was of God, that I felt was God sent because of all that preceded the relationship. Okay, all the kindness and all the sweetness and all the pursuit that came before it. And guys, I want to tell you, fast forwarding, being in a relationship where it felt like there was love and there was respect and there was understanding and this was just a dream come true, to one day finding myself in my bathroom on the floor crying and just screaming with my hands over my ears as this person who claimed to love me stood over me, spewing out venomous words to me, spewing out words that contradicted everything that I thought this person stood for and what our relationship was all about. And I remember, guys, just crying and crying and crying. Now, keep in mind, in my head, I remember thinking, how did I get here? I am a strong woman. I don't take no shorts unless I'm wearing them. How am I here in a heap on the floor, crying from a place that I don't even know, and feeling myself spiraling further into a dark place? I can hear the words of this man speaking these words to me, and I felt myself like going. It's like inside my head, I felt myself spiraling down into this dark place. And as I held my head and screamed and cried and was crying, I heard my name, Arlene. Arlene, I am with you. Hear my voice. I am with you, Arlene. I am with you. I am with you, Arlene. I am here with you. Stay with me. I am here with you. Guys, on more than one occasions, the Lord rescued me and kept me from crossing this line, this place that I've never been at, that may very well have been a place of who knows if I would have come back from there had I crossed that line. Maybe that's what people call insanity. I don't know. But I'm here to tell you that even in that dark space, excuse me guys, even in that dark space and in that place, the Lord came to get me. And he brought me out of that. You see, it had nothing to do with how strong I felt that I was, how confident I was in myself as a woman, how I felt I had that. Had nothing to do with that. None of that stands toe to toe with sin and with darkness. And so there I was in this place, being pulled into a direction that thankfully God saved me from it. There are other things that occurred, but the bottom line is Jesus came and rescued me and he saved me. And the thing is, I can't look and say, oh, think badly of the individual, other than, Arlene, you chose to walk in sin. And when you choose to walk in sin, when either party chooses to engage and to do things their way, to try to override God and do things their way, then these are the consequences. The enemy will use the both of you to cancel one another out. The thing you have to realize about the enemy, when I think back on this, I thought about how long before I was ever considering or even going out with the individual, they're already like reaching out to me, just because we were like mutual friends, and our work kind of brought us together. So even when I was stationed somewhere else and that person had moved on and gone to another duty station, that person was always reaching out to me, sending me something nice, saying something nice, even when I wasn't even thinking about them at all, even when it was just a meh to me. But I'm here to tell you something about the enemy. And I've said this to someone before. The enemy will set you up, will start planting seeds a year or 2 years before the trap. So that's why it's very important. And even then, during that time, I was definitely not walking in the Lord. So, I thought it was like, oh, okay, cool, whatever, because I'm busy wrapped up in other things. But guess what? The enemy planted those seeds, and it seemed like it was no big deal, because the enemy knew later on down the line I was going to be here. And then so what was already planted was able to germinate and to spring forth and to bring me into a relationship that I thought, oh, this had to be the one, because look how long, he had been pursuing me way before, and being sweet and being nice, establishing trust, right? So guys, what I'm telling you is this: you must pay attention. You need to negate the person, even though, yes, the individuals that do these things, they have to make a choice. It's always a choice. Satan doesn't just flip a switch in your back and you're doing stuff. You have to choose when he gives you the idea to lie, if he gives you the idea to cheat, if he gives you the idea to be back and forth. We have to choose. Just like I chose to be in a relationship that was wrong, right? So you have to not so much look at the person, but the spirits behind everything, which was you've got to recognize the enemy when he's showing up, even if he shows up years before. He'll plant seeds, he'll cause people or things that you do to set you up for your fall later on down the line. That's what you have to realize. There's no such thing as it's no big deal. That little lie that you told a day, that little thing that you do this day, this little email that you sent now, this little text, this little chat that you sent right now, that it seemed harmless and nothing, it's because the enemy will let you do little things now to set you up for the trap, to set you up for the kill later on. Certain things may never come back up again. But what I found is it will come back, because what happens is you don't stop sinning. You don't stop doing what you're doing. You do other things. You may stop for a season, but you get back into that habit because you got away with it before. And so the enemy sets you up for later on. I want you to know, I've heard people saying they have been quoting what Charles Spurgeon says about discernment, that discernment is not necessarily just knowing the difference between right and wrong, but knowing the difference between right and almost right. Because sometimes it's going to come a certain way. Your downfall is going to come and seem like it's perfect. Your trap, your kryptonite. But the thing is, we always have to look at the fruit. Is this person producing fruit that is pleasing to God? Not just being a good person and going to church. But guys, let me tell you something. One thing is, when you cry out to the Lord, and sometimes even when you don't cry out to him, he'll keep you from falling off that cliff. And he did that for me on many occasions. And then he went even further and came and got me and just got me out of that situation. You see, I'm already a person that was like, I was already a person that I couldn't just walk away and leave, okay? But there was something that tied us, because there was this belief that God had called us together. that God, he was feeling that the Lord had told him I was his wife, and I was like, hey, I feel like you're my husband. So this Titus, why did the enemy do that? Well, because the enemy knows Arlene. He knows after a certain point, I'm like, whatever, I'm out, right? So now here's this other little piece he had to throw in for me to stay, which is, oh, this person is for me. This is my husband. But God is not going to send me someone that's going to torment me. God's not going to send me a person where our values and our beliefs are not the same, and definitely not where we are, being sinful before the Lord, whether we felt we're going to get married or not. So guys, let me tell you something. It's best to stay. It's best to stick with the Father. It's best to do it his way. Sometimes we feel like we're missing out. Oh, I'm gonna miss out if I don't do it like this. But you end up getting hurt. You end up getting lumps and bumps. Thank God for pulling me out of that. It's been more than 2 years. I'm happy. I am content. I am filled with joy. I have no animosity to this person that I used to be with. I don't have any animosity at all. I have no ill will or feelings, because God brought me through that whole painful process. He called me to himself, and he came into my life, and he changed me. He taught me how to forgive so that I have his peace, and I am content, and I am happy. I'm absolutely happy in the Lord, more than I've ever been. So now when I speak of this, it doesn't come from a place of pain and like, let me tell y'all. No, it's like, listen to the Holy Spirit. Listen to God when he's showing you things. And guys, hold on to him when he saves you. Hold on to him and don't go back. Don't go back to mess. Hold on to the Lord, because he knows things. He sees things. He sees the future. He sees the heart of man. He sees your heart. And he removes you, guys. Sometimes God removes you from people because you'll be the one that go off the deep end and do something you're not supposed to do because there's so much pain. You're looking at that person. You could be with a person who's angry and beating you up all the time. That was my case, okay? But some of you've been in relationships, you're getting beaten up, you with an angry, ill-tempered person. God is trying to pull you out of this, and you're still there. And God is trying to pull you because one day, God forbid, but sometimes what God sees is that you are going to be, even though this person has always been the angry, abusive person, God sees that this person is going to push you to a point where you end up shooting them and killing them. You'll be behind bars, despite the fact that this person had a history of violence. Sometimes God is seeing how far this person, God is pulling you out of a situation because Satan is setting you up where you will do the destructive thing. You will do the thing that is wrong. You will be the one to do the unthinkable to yourself because of what you're exposed to, because of all the pain and the suffering, and let's say correctly, the torment you're being exposed to. I thank God for saving me. I thank God for delivering me. My education and my looks and my money and my swag did not stand up, did not matter when faced with sin. So I thank the Lord for calling out to me even in my darkest place. And I thank God that he has given me an opportunity to serve him so that I am not lost. I am not lost. I'm not gone. I am back with him, and I want to stay with him, and I want to stick with him. And so I reach out for him every day. So this is what I'm telling you guys today. The Lord loves you, and he's reaching out for you. So reach out for him and take his hand and let him pull you out of the miry places, the slippery slopes and the pits that you may have put yourself in. And don't believe that you can never get out, because there's nothing that's impossible with the Lord Jesus Christ. All right, guys, peace out.